you want to go beyond Delhi, I'm sure, at some point of time, where there are people who come from outside Delhi who want to go to these bakeries in Delhi. There are places like in Tamil Nadu, there's this Iyengar bakeries, which are very famous. People used to go to these because there was a special kind. In Calcutta, there are bakeries which are like over 100 years old. People go there for a specific kind of, I'm not going to name them because it's not a sponsored show, but everybody goes for specific things. Do you think that the products that you're making has a pan-India appeal now? And do you want to go to other places other than Delhi?
The simple answer is yes. Because, as we all know, India is evolving. It's tremendously developing. And this development is not limited just to Delhi or any other place, that particular place. And we do have a very ambitious development plan, which is cluster-based. So we call the Delhi NCR one cluster, where we have a central production kitchen, which can serve up to 25, 30 outlets. We are now close to 22, and we will add another 10 or so. So then this will be completing the Delhi cluster as such. Now we have 9 other clusters in other parts of India. Just to give, we have Mumbai North, we have Mumbai South, which goes up to Goa. We have Kolkata, we have Chennai, we have Hyderabad, we have I don't know Rajasthan, we have the Tri-Cities, etc. So it's really, we have Bangalore, obviously. So we will cover all these places. Each time we will have a central kitchen which serve other areas. I would not exaggerate to say at least once a week we get calls of people who want to take our brand to these and many other cities. Okay. They come. Now, their idea is that we would franchise. But we have made the experience that if we want to keep the purity, the quality, even if it is more expensive, we need more capital, we should do it ourselves. So all our expansion plan over the next 5 years will take us to about, 300 outlets in India, and also about 100 or more overseas. This will be also done under the name and by L'Opéra itself.
Nice. So Kazem is a total businessman.
Yes.
But 10 years ago, did you ever think that your brand would be something which would be part of an Oxford MBA program and a study? Did you think that? And as an expat, do you feel that that you did the right decision of living and working in India and building a brand in India?
Yes. In fact, I mean, the fact that we are here and we live in India, of course, is also because of L'Opéra. And at the beginning, we didn't know at all that it will take that dimension. And even we said we'll go for 1 year and we'll see, maybe then we go back to France, etc. So this question of no, we didn't at all. We didn't know that. But me, also as a sociologist and anthropologist, I'm very interested in the fact that we have created, well, there is the business, of course, it has to be a business, but we have created a company with value, with core values. And these are, for instance, as excellence in quality, as gender equality between, the personnel, that the staff has to work in teamwork and respect of each other, or courtesy, or consultation. So we have a list of 10 different values. And my interest in, I can say that it's really to create also something which remain beyond the product itself. The product is wonderful. We love it. I mean, everybody love. I think people appreciate the place, the outlets. But what we like, and this is my link with the people, even with our staff, with our colleagues, there is a special link with the people, that they are working with us. So this is, I will say, my interest. But no, I never thought that one day we will be in India and one day we will try to create something which hopefully will last.
Okay, you've been reading newspaper reports, and there's even a book and things about people from India who are frustrated with the business conditions, and they say, working in Europe or working in America, it's easier to do business in those countries. You've lived and worked in so many countries and continents. What is like the whole idea of ease of doing business in India and the ease of living in India? Could you tell me a little bit about that? Is it easy at all now as compared to maybe 10 years or 15 years or even 20 years back?
You know, this question is very complex. It's complex. Anybody who thinks that it is easy to live and prosper in America, they don't understand what they are talking. Living in an ultra-competitive environment where material gain is more or less the only thing think about and work about. This is really, it's not an easy. I was based in the United States. I appreciate meritocracy. I appreciate that. But I would really not call it an easy life. That's one thing. About the question of, it comes back to what you want from life. If we are self-centric, if we are egoistic, if we want just to show off, yes, some other places may be easier. But if you want to leave something after you have lived your, God willing, 100 years, that something lasts, that you have made a difference, it's very difficult to make a difference in any of the Western countries. Whereas India, and that's what I encourage all young people, here there is still so much to be done. If you are reasonably hardworking, if you are honest, if you don't want to take shortcuts, this is the El Dorado, not just because of for making money, but to make a difference, to be something positive, to contribute to the society. I personally don't understand. Yes, I understand. It's better you go to Dubai, you pay less taxes and those things. Obviously, I understand how it works. But being here, training, you know, we have consecutive employee numbers. We have reached 1,000. It means 1,000 people. They went through the training of l'Opéra. And hopefully with our next plan, we will train another 3,000 to 4,000 people. Imagine what this will mean about the French tradition of baking and pastry making. Now, you take that to any other area. You can take to services. You can take that to manufacturing. You can take that making parts for the future Apple phones, etc. I mean, you don't have this. The life in Western countries, in my own country, France, it's tough for young people. You have people have fantastic education, but the number of jobs are limited. And they're being even more limited with the advent of AI and automation and robots, etc. So the ideal place, yes, if you want to work only 35 hours a week and have easy, but then what is life? I mean, you get bored after some time. But here, it's the challenge. You have everything to do. You have now ease of business. I have worked really in 60 different countries. The ease, it's relative. You see here, yes, you have to get so many licenses, you have to wait for that and this and that, etc. But if we wanted to do what we did here in India, if I want to do that in France, I would need at least 5-6 times more capital. Nobody sees you. If you want to do a bakery and pastry, you have to spend millions on just advertisement and marketing. You have to pay, the salaries are so high. So what we could do with our limited resources in India would have never been possible to do unless you are Bill Gates or you are, I don't know, you are a genius or you are, I don't know, whatever, Jeff Bezos, etc. But those are few. The majority of people, they are contributing to making the others rich, etc. So in my opinion, I never worked in life for money personally. I have great satisfaction in building something from nothing.
Nice.
For
Very
me,
nice.
this is the satisfaction. And I personally believe this should be also the ambition of young people to be. But yes, read what happened in Japan, read what happened in Taiwan, read what happened in South Korea, what happened in now Vietnam, right? Yes, 1 or 2 generations must sacrifice. If the first generation wants to reap immediately within 5 years or 10 years the results of their work, become millionaires, retire at 30, it's not compatible. It's not compatible. We can never then put into practice the vision of the government, of the prime minister who wants to have the Viksit Bharat. We need young Indians who are accepting to work hard, to put in the 14, 15 hours, to accept, to create, to risk, to make startups, etc., and to be satisfied when they make a difference. They put the print on the society instead of just having a big bank account.
Make a difference in people's lives.
I mean, who cares if your car is made of solid gold or just steel? I mean, so what? You see, so again, this has to do with your values and the way you see life. I don't know. It was a long answer to a short question.
No, and you ask about easiness of business. I will, but our life. No, I said about if our life is easy, probably not. It's not so easy. I mean, there are also challenges, etc. But what I like, I can say emotionally, I'm very much connected, with people, with Indians, and that this is what it keep us, I will say, in India, in Delhi. For instance, we left a few months back our apartment in one of the colony, and when we left, our neighbors were crying. I did also. And then when we arrived in our new colony, a person who is an important person, just neighbor, he sent us food.
He was a
for
former
the first,
Supreme Court judge.
He said, "What do you want for the first day?"
The first day, we were there.
He came and welcomed us, and then he said, "What do you want for dinner? My cook will provide this for you." And then 1 or 2 weeks after, even the neighbor in front. So these kind of emotions, and which I think is very particular to India, and also our staff, friends. We have, of course, social life is very but we have very good friends, Indian friends. So all these it's I will say soften the challenge we could have in India.
True. Finally, I just want to ask you this one question, or rather it's a comment on society also, that I read now that there are many state governments which are saying that, when you talk about jobs and, people wanting jobs and wanting skill development to happen, and they said that, baking is one of the options. And I was surprised. I said, first time I'm seeing governments talking about baking as a job option, because I've never heard of that. Like you hear basket making or sewing or knitting or shawl weaving, these kind of things, or sari making. These kind of things are skill development. And the first time I saw that baking, because you don't need to be highly educated. So women can get into it. If it's taught, they can bake and provide, and in remote parts of the country also they can do that, because now electricity is available, so refrigeration should not be an issue. So I saw that. So I think job creation is something that can happen if more such bakeries open around the country, and it will make an impact if more women are coming into the workforce. Yes. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely, yes.
Right?
I think this is
this is very true. This is very true. And as I mentioned, at least if we are capable of delivering on our plans, we are creating a school for training bakers and pastry and all the personnel that we want. We are also very closely working with the government. Actually, there were initiatives. We were approached and they offered support. So hopefully this school will be there within the next 12 months.
Okay.
And we will train. And yes, this is a very, very job intensive, labor intensive area of activity, and when with the increasing demand and formalization of the sector, we hope to be able to create another 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 jobs within the next 5 years.
Lovely. And that means so many families will benefit from
We
this.
usually multiply by 5.
Yes.
At least, easily.
And now more and more women realize that a double income family means you can provide more for your children, right?
You know, we had, just picking up on that, we have a driver. It took us how many years? So we finally managed to convince that his wife has to also work. Now she's so happy. So she's happy because in the modern world, in a city like Delhi, how can you live from a single income?
Yes.
So what you say is so true. And I'm totally convinced.
Totally. Namaste, Jai Hind. You're watching ANI podcast with Smita Prakash.
अगर हम उसको मस्जिद कहेंगे तो फिर विवाद होगा।
The issue is टूटा है क्या भारत?
400 पार का मतलब ये है कि संविधान खतरे में है।
क्या हम लोग ये निर्देश देते हैं कि फला को गिरफ्तार करके जेल डाल दें?
वही तो कह रहे हैं सब।
ये बेबुनियाद निराधार आरोप।
सच्चा सुनना चाहो देखो स्मिता प्रकाश ANI, it does not lie.